Okay, back to politics now. House Republicans are expected to vote on a stopgap measure to prevent a government shutdown. That's supposed to happen this week. The Republican-controlled House and Senate have both passed spending measures, but to this point, they have not yet reached a consensus. So let's bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. All right, Caitlin, what are you hearing as to what is in this continuing resolution?
Hey, Vlad, good to see you. It is Groundhog Day up here on Capitol Hill. Another looming shutdown coming on Friday if Congress doesn't act. Now, over the weekend, House Republicans unveiled their measure, which essentially increases defense spending by about $6 billion, but it decreases domestic spending by about $13 billion. It also includes some more money for immigrations and customs enforcement, also an increase in spending for veterans' health care programs. Now, the big question here is whether Republicans will have the votes to pass this. Democrats came out over the weekend and said they are not going to support this. They don't think it does enough to support Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and other programs. So they're voting no. We'll see if they can keep their conference together against this. So that puts the pressure on House Speaker Mike Johnson, who you see there. He can only really afford to lose 1 or 2 votes, depending on attendance here. And already today, we have Thomas Massie, congressman from Kentucky. You've probably heard his name a lot during these funding fights. He came out today and said he's absolutely against it. It would take a lobotomy, he said, to support this. So already down 1 vote. We'll see what the rest of them say as they're coming back to Washington today. But even if this passes the House, Vlad, and that vote is expected tomorrow, it still has to get through the Senate, where it will require support from Democrats. And that is no sure bet either. Already you've had Senate Democrats come out and say that they don't like this bill. So we'll see whether 6 or 7 of them can get on board.
So for those who are potentially looking to block this bill, Caitlin, I mean, is that something that you're hearing they might try to do? I know that there's been talk, especially in the wake of the president's address to Congress last week, where people just sort of felt like their measures during that speech were sort of childish and not effective, and the only way to get attention for what they need to get attention for is to do something like this.
Yeah, you always have this constituency in the House Republican Conference that just doesn't like any increases in government spending. They want to see deeper cuts, and that has always kind of beguiled House speakers, not only Johnson, but others in the past. And so last week you had President Trump invite a lot of those members over to the White House, and he was basically saying to them, look, just pass this thing, get it over with, and then you can have those bigger policy arguments on the budget fight, that bigger, line item spending that they want to get done for next year. We'll see if that works. That is the biggest difference, Vlad, between this iteration and the one we saw a few months ago at the end of the year. Remember when Elon Musk helped to blow that all up? The difference this time is President Trump is on board, and he's on board early. So over the weekend, he was taking to social media telling Republicans, you need to stay united around this. Don't have any dissent. He actually used the word please in asking them to vote for this. So he is trying to work here also in keeping the Republican conference together. I mean, this spending bill, though, really just continues to kick the can down the road. It funds the government through the end of September. So that's also what some of these House Republicans don't like either.
All right, Caitlin Huey-Burns for us in the halls of Congress. Caitlin, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.